Dynasty Warriors 8 is a beat-em-up video game and the 8th official installment of the Dynasty Warriors series. It is developed by Omega Force and published by Tecmo Koei. The story is based on the Chinese writer Luo Guanzhong's historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms. The game was unveiled on October 30, 2012 via Jump magazine and released on February 28, 2013 for the PlayStation 3 in Japan. On April 3, 2013, it was confirmed by Tecmo Koei that there would be an overseas release for both North America and Europe in July 2013. It was released on both PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 for both physical and digital release. The option of English and Japanese voiceovers also return, where there is also an option to change the subtitles to English, French or German. Having more than 82 characters featured in the game largely based its system from Dynasty Warriors 7 and instead focused on adding more content for replayability as well as several tweaks in the combat system. The game is followed by 2 expansions. The first, Dynasty Warriors 8, Extreme Legends, was released for PlayStation 3 on November 28, 2013 in Japan and on 2014 in North America and Europe. Versions for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 are developed as well, both of which package the expansion with the original version and are released under the title of Dynasty Warriors 8, Extreme Legends Complete Edition. The PlayStation Vita version was released on the same day as PlayStation 3, while the PlayStation 4 version was released as a launch title for the console in Japan, on March 25, 2014 in North America, and on April 4, 2014 for Europe. The PC port for Complete Edition released on May 13, 2014. The second expansion, Dynasty Warriors 8, Empires, will be released for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows on September 25, 2014 in Japan. Gameplay and features, Story Mode and Free Mode. The Story Mode retains the same faction-based storyline and returns with seamless cutscenes. In addition, each of the characters of the other faction has one scenario dedicated to them, forming a loose other faction story mode, in a first for the series. Stages now have more freedom of progression for the player, unlike the previous installment, which was strongly preset in means of stage routes. A selection of up to 4 characters will be offered for each stages in story mode, instead of controlling a predefined character. The mission objectives in each level differ based on the character chosen. The story has been entirely rewritten, with each of the 4 faction stories dividing into a historical path and a hypothetical path at a critical portion of their stories. Each mission may have a number of optional objectives which unlock additional side story missions or alter the course of history, such as the moment where the flood attack in Fan Castle fails and therefore saves Guan Yu's life from being extinguished and therefore in relation also saves Zhang Fei from the betraying officers. In order to unlock the hypothetical path, players must complete all of the optional objectives in both the main and side stories prior to the critical point of the storyline. The game also allows a co-op play of the story mode and it can be played both offline and online. In the previous installment of the franchise, Dynasty Warriors 7, the story mode was only single-player. Extreme Legends adds an additional storyline for Luo Guanzhong's forces, primarily focused on Luo Guanzhong, Chen Gong, and Zhang Liao. In addition, a series of hypothetical missions are added to the 4 main kingdom storylines, mostly recreating historical events with a slight hypothetical twist. Each of the 3 main kingdoms contains a 2-part mini-campaign centered around the new character introduced to their respective factions, while the Jin faction, having no new characters, has a 3-part mini-campaign featuring a fictional version of Tsunghui's rebellion. Each campaign concludes with a whimsical side story mission, not set to any particular timeline. Additional other scenarios are also included for the other faction. The music for the hypothetical portion of each story mode is taken from earlier Dynasty Warriors installments, with 4 pieces specifically remixed for this game. Furthermore, the 4 Kingdom leitmotifs introduced in Dynasty Warriors 7 return and are further expanded upon in the soundtrack of Dynasty Warriors 8. Extreme Legends adds a Kingdom leitmotif for Luo Guanzhong's faction based on his recurring theme. Free mode returns for the first time since Dynasty Warriors 6 in terms of main game. Players will be given opportunity to play as an opposing faction in the stages a la Dynasty Warriors 3 and 4, instead of being forced to play in a faction as in Dynasty Warriors 7, Extreme Legends. Ambition Mode, a new game mode, called the Ambition Mode, has been introduced. In it, the player is tasked to create a social base for peasants called the Tungatai Tower, and to make Emperor Xian visit it. To raise the tower's status, the player must partake in 3 different kind of battles. Skirmish battles which give materials to construct the tower, raid battles which increase fame, and large-scale battles which can recruit new partners. Players start out with a weapon shop as their sole base facility. More can be added or expanded upon as the town gradually becomes populated with people. These include a food market, a trade shop, a menagerie, etc. Extreme Legends introduces a countdown timer into Ambition Mode, where a player is initially given 7 minutes of time, and is granted additional time for every 100 enemies killed, for every officer defeated, or for achieving stage objectives. It also introduces a second portion to Ambition Mode, reminiscent of both Dynasty Warriors Next and the Empire's installments, where, following the construction of the Tongquetai and the visitation of the Emperor, a false emperor has arisen and the player is tasked to eliminate the false emperor by subjugating territories under the false emperor's influence. The bodyguard system of the base game is expanded, where, instead of the ability to bring one character with them to battle, they may bring 3 officers with them. The ability to select bodyguards is based on a fee system, constrained by the playable character's leadership rating as well as an inherent cost to hiring the character as a bodyguard. Each bodyguard is also associated with a particular bodyguard skill, which may be used by the playable character to affect the course of gameplay. Bodyguard skills may be upgraded with use, or by releasing other officers, while the leadership rating of playable characters may be upgraded by using the skills of their bodyguards. Challenge Mode, as with previous Dynasty Warriors games, Extreme Legends adds a challenge mode, which uses stock characters for various arcade-style challenges. There are a total of 5 mini-games, each of which reward the player with a customizable weapon based on the character's score in the challenge. These may include weapons with weapon elements that are unobtainable in any of the other modes. New mechanics. The game features new battle mechanics that rely on a new concept called the 3-point system, where each weapon is given an affinity of either heaven, earth, or man. Each affinity is strong against one of the affinities and weak against the other. If the player faces an officer whose affinity is weaker, they may trigger the Storm Rush, a multi-hitting attack that requires repeatedly pressing the attack buttons. It is shown through a blue gauge above the opponent which decreases as you attack. Storm Rush is then initiated automatically when the gauge is fully depleted. In Extreme Legends, this can be configured to be triggered manually by pressing both the normal and charge attack buttons. Conversely, if the player faces an officer whose affinity is stronger, they may trigger the Switch Counter, a counter-blow attack that allows you to avoid a hard-hitting attack from an opponent while also blowing them away before switching to another weapon. It is shown through a red exclamation mark. A switch counter may be triggered by pressing the weapon switch attack button when the opponent is preparing a charge attack or a storm rush. A visual indicator will appear when the opportunity to switch counter arises. Dynasty Warriors 8 also adds Rage Mode. This mechanic is similar to the Musa Rage system from Dynasty Warriors 5. This requires the rage gauge to be full, which may be achieved by attacking enemies. When it is full, it can be initiated where the player's stats dramatically increase while the gauge slowly depletes. While in Rage Mode, the player's Musa bars merge together, and is automatically replenished. When the player presses the Musa attack button, the player is able to perform a rage attack, a powerful move reminiscent of Musa attacks from past Dynasty Warriors games, in that it will slowly deplete a character's Musa gauge, and ends whenever the player releases the Musa attack button or the gauge is empty. In the previous installment, each character could hold up to 2 Musa attacks. Either 2 ground attacks, or 1 ground and 1 air attack. In this installment, all characters have all 3 types of Musa attacks, though the ability to use the aerial Musa and Musa 2 attacks must be unlocked through strengthening the character. Weapon updates. The game retains the X-weapon system from Dynasty Warriors 7, where each character's 6 normal and charge attacks are determined entirely by the 2 weapons that they have equipped. In addition, each character is associated with a single weapon, for which a special X attack is available to them. In Extreme Legends, each character gains a second X attack. Each character may equip 2 weapons, and may freely switch them in battle by pressing the weapon switch button. A character may perform their Musa attack regardless of which weapon is equipped. Unlike Dynasty Warriors 7, characters no longer share X weapon types. Each character is now associated with a unique X weapon type. Examples include Sun Jian featuring a new 9-ring blade. This is a dao that has a total of 9 rings that connect to the sword's back. The rings are able to produce sound that inflicts damage upon enemies. All weapons from Dynasty Warriors 7 and its expansions return, with many new ones added. Unlike Dynasty Warriors 7, players may keep multiple copies of a single weapon type, each of which containing 6 element slots. Weapons broadly fall into 2 categories in terms of customization: standard weapons and treasure weapons. Whereas treasure weapons have preset elements and cannot be customized, players may customize standard weapons through one of 3 methods: weapon tempering, reforging, and, in Extreme Legends, fusion. Weapon tempering and reforging require the use of weapon materials, which may be obtained through ambition mode play. Tempering sacrifices a weapon to strengthen another one, while reforging trades 3 weapons for 2 stronger ones. Weapon fusion requires the use of gems, acquired through free and ambition modes, where players may selectively replace an existing element on a weapon with elements found on another weapon, change the affinity of an existing weapon, or improve the base attack rating of a weapon. The process of weapon customization must be unlocked through ambition mode, though in Extreme Legends once unlocked it may also be used in free mode. A weapon's type now includes an affinity, being one of the following 3 elements: a heaven, or degree earth, a man. With these 3 affinity elements, a triangular relationship connecting the 3 in an infinite manner determines which affinity will outdo one another. This triangular relationship is similar to rock paper scissors. The relationship states that the man affinity is effective against the heaven affinity, the heaven affinity is effective against the earth affinity, and the earth affinity is effective against the man affinity. Other features: Dynasty Warriors 8 features upgraded graphics compared to previous games in the series, with less lag and fewer framerate issues. The weather effects on the stages have been improved and there are more gimmicks implemented in the system, adding a more unique playstyle. Enemy and ally AI. In this title is designed to punish players who fail to pay attention to their allies. Recently, the AI has been revised again for difficulty in the overseas ports to appeal to North American audiences. The morale gauge also returns. Horses are now called by pressing L2, where if held down, players can automatically mount their horse. Clothing will also be dirtied throughout the course of battle. Character list. The following is a list of the 83 playable characters in the game. Characters available by default are the ones who are selectable in the first stage of each kingdom stories. Other characters are unlocked by unlocking the first stage. They are made playable in story mode. Players who import save data from the base game to Extreme Legends will have the new characters unlocked for use in story mode and free mode by default, in addition to the characters that were previously unlocked in the base game. In Extreme Legends, if the character is defeated as an ally in ambition mode or if they are released to strengthen another officer, they will be relocked until they are defeated and recruited again. Denotes new characters to the series. Denotes characters added through Dynasty Warriors 8, Extreme Legends denotes characters added through Dynasty Warriors 8, Empire's Bold denotes default characters. Reception. The game has received generally mixed to positive reviews. Among the Famitsu 2013 Top 100, a listing of the top 100 Japanese retail software sales for the year of 2013 from data collected by Famitsu's parent company Enterbrain, Dynasty Warriors 8 ranked number 19, with 354,980 physical retail sales within Japan. Related games. Like previous games in the series, Dynasty Warriors 8 is followed by 2 expansions. The first, Dynasty Warriors 8, Extreme Legends, was released for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita on November 28, 2013 in Japan, while the PlayStation 4 version was released as a launch title in Japan. Both versions were released on March 25, 2014 in North America and Europe on April 4, 2014. A PC port was also released on May 23, 2014 in Japan as well as May 13, 2014 in North America and Europe. It includes additional features not present in Dynasty Warriors 8, such as a new story mode dedicated to Luo Guanzhong and his allies, new stages for the rest of the kingdoms and other characters, new content for Ambition Mode, Challenge Mode, a new X attack for each character, and 5 new playable characters, Chen Gong, Fa Zheng, Lu Lingyi, Yu Jin, and Suran. It also enables cross-platform multiplayer. Players may also have the option to buy just the expansion or a package with the original version through either physical discs or digital download. The second expansion, Dynasty Warriors 8, Empires, will be released for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows on September 25, 2014 in Japan. Like previous Empires expansions, it will focus more on strategical and tactical battle system. It will allow players to modify the player force's flags, horses, and soldiers, as well as featuring large-scale stratagems, enhanced from Dynasty Warriors 7, Empires. In addition to the marriage system, players' officers can have children with their spouses. A new playable character, Zhanyu, will also be added in Empires. The visuals of the game's playable characters are used in the spin-off game, Dynasty Warriors Blast, a free-to-play card-based social game for the mobile phones released on July 31, 2014. Like the 100-man Nin social game of sister series Samurai Warriors, the game has a large amount of original character designs in addition to the playable characters of the main Dynasty Warriors series, some of whom may be implemented to the main series according to producer Suzuki. See also, Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Tecmo Koei, Romance of Three Kingdoms, Warriors Orochi, List of Dynasty Warriors characters, references. External links, official Japanese site, official North American site, official European site, Dynasty Warriors 8 review on IGN.